Yeah, all right. So let's do a little drop D Southern fried greasy music. I love it. This like full country western cowboy grit songs. We're gonna tune down, half step and drop D just to make it low and nasty. So anyway, speaking of low and nasty, click the links below and there's some awesomely good stuff down there. Always. So if you haven't clicked the link, get on the brink of clicking, because if you just stay on the brink and you never click the link, you'll never know what you're missing. Oh, I'm sorry. Being under these lights makes you crazy. So let's zoom in for a closer look and learn some of this kind of like Midwestern, Southern truck mudding awesomeness. There we go. All right, so right off the bat, just a D chord. Now what we're going to do, since we're in drop D, is we can't do a typical G chord or an F chord. What you have to do is use either one finger, right? And just bar the first 3 strings with your first finger, and that'll give you just a straight like 5 chord. Or what you can do is go like this. So you have a basic, this would be like an F major chord shape, right? I got my first finger on the first 2 strings of the first fret. Then we got 2nd fret G, and now my ring and my pinky are going to be on the 3rd fret, right? Instead of being just like this, it's like this now because of the tuning of the string. So what I'm going to want to be careful of is that D string. Now right now it doesn't matter that much because we're in D, but you don't necessarily want to hit that, you know, that string on all these kind of chords. So get in the habit of muting out that D string, and it gives you that. And you just move it up, and you got a G. Now you can also do the minor chords, and you just, right? It's the same thing, right? We're just moving this finger is really the only difference in the chord. So from that, I was doing a lot of stuff like implying an F chord and a C chord with just single notes, pulling down stuff like that. So at the beginning, I was doing a hybrid picking, and I was just going. So what I did is I took the D chord, picked it, picked the D note, and then I pull off the D chord to the open G. So I pull off from the 2nd fret of the G to open. And then I pick the D string again, and then I go back to my D chord. So we got. And then I hammer on. And then I do my little riff. So we got. And that riff was. Let's see. I gotta do it slower. So I hammer on from 2 to 3. And then I go to the D string 3rd fret. Back to the D string 3rd fret, and then I'm plucking that G open. That's all G string. Right? Now the next one I went. So I hammered on the D string this time, 2 to 3. And then I plucked it with my finger, the G string. And then I go back to the 3rd fret. So we got. And then I go down to G, pull off. And then back to the D 3rd fret. Or you can just pull off the D 3rd fret right there. Yeah, that's easier. Pull off to the D. So then what I did was I just went up to. Now all these pull off riffs on the 3rd fret from D, C to G, but you know, it's dropped lower obviously because of the tuning, but where the G would normally be, all sound great. Any sort of combos that you can do right there, whether it's, right, that would just be pulling off from 3 to open on the D, and then I'm going to hammer on, open A to the 3rd fret, and just do that twice. And then I pick the D, open, now also pulling down the string a little bit gives you a little bit that southern twang, right? Now another one of the riffs I did was when I just pulled off 3rd fret, A, and then I pull off 5th fret, E, 3rd fret, and then I grab the 3rd fret of the D. And then you can bend that down a little bit. Or right, you can do all sorts of stuff. I'm just kind of keeping this hand going. And normally where I would associate a chord coming in, I'll just do a little riff. And then I let that be like my main chord shift in the song. So in the end, I went same riff I did in the beginning, and then I did it on the D and A string. So this is the G and D. And that's just, so what I did there is I hammered onto the 3rd fret, A, went back to the A and D. So I go down to the D. This is hard to explain. There it is. One more time. Right, so I make it kind of almost like an exercise. It's totally fun. I've been sitting here for like an hour just jamming around. And just messing around. It doesn't have to be perfect, but what you want to do is do it slow. So you can start kind of getting into a groove. You know, you can also do those bends instead of going. It can be like, right, those pull downs. Really cool sounding. So the licks don't have to be fast. It's just stuff to, you know, mess around with. So again, we're in D. I tuned down a half step and drop D, but you don't have to do that. Once you watch the video and just see what I'm doing. You can be in standard tuning and just drop the D string down. I just like the real throaty sound. Plus, a lot of the new country guys are tuning down because it sounds nasty, right? Sounds good with them big truck speakers. Yeah, so don't be afraid to mess around sliding up the chords. Because it's just one finger. So get big and nasty and go get yourself some dip, spit a little bit, watch your shoe, and then just get crazy with them southern riffs. Before any of you southern guys get mad, I am from Oklahoma, so I can do it. I'm legit. I'm not just making fun. I'm having fun with, because I know where you come from. All right. Catch you next time. All right. So, awesome stuff. Having fun. Doing some good for the guitar out there in the world. You are doing the good, not me. I'm referring to you out there. So, anyways, click that link below. Marty will be stoked, and so will you. All right. Thanks for joining us. Catch you next time.